Hey everyone, Al Fragnoli, Zach Sooty, League of Leaders. We're coming at you on Super Bowl Sunday here. We're joined today by Drew Herrick. Drew is a member experience specialist for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Drew, thanks for coming on with us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Alan. Zach. Happy to be here.
Awesome. Another fellow Chippewa, so fire up chips as
Fire up.
always. We'll start it that way. We've got a couple questions, Drew, lined up for you. The first one we'll start with is you've had stops in both college and in the professional ranks in the sports industry. Tell us a little bit about what you love most about working in college athletics and what you enjoy most about professional sports.
Yeah, great question. So, college is definitely the passion of the fans. Growing up in Michigan, grew up a huge Wolverine fan, and the rivalry with Ohio State was just crazy. But when I was at University of Kentucky prior to being with the Jaguars, and just a SEC football game, nothing beats it. It was insane, and then you add in the basketball aspect to it, Kentucky, and it's just out of this world as far as the passion of the fans go. And then I was talking to you a little bit about this prior to us starting the recording here. With pro, so with the Jaguars, we were 1-15 in this season. Made a few coaching changes, got Urban Meyer. People have never been this excited about the franchise. It's been crazy just talking to some of my accounts who were like, I don't know if I'm getting tickets for the upcoming year to get charge my credit card right now. And we don't even start a renewal for another month. So it's been crazy just from that aspect. I used to be with the Nashville Predators also. So when I was there, the team was doing pretty good. And then we made a trade, Ryan Johansson from Columbus for Seth Jones from the Predators. So that was a huge trade. Got more people calling in, and then just the special events too of the pros, all-star games, Pro Bowl, whatever that may be. But when I was in Nashville, I got to work that NHL All-Star game, and maybe I'm just adding that in because I was lucky enough to work that. But it was a super cool experience to be able to be a part of a special once-in-a-lifetime event like that.
So, Drew, you mentioned you're currently working with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing with the Jaguars and what your role with the team is.
Yeah, so being a member experience specialist, I am on the ticket sales staff as a part of our service and retention branch. So, meaning I have a base of accounts, and my ultimate goal with them is to renew them for their season tickets for the following year. And in order to do that, we do touch points throughout the season, whether it's a hit and ring card to them, wishing them a Merry Christmas, or doing a seat visit at a game, just check and see how things are going. Also being their point of contact. So if they need anything, whether they had a out of line fan one game near them, or if their tickets weren't scanning right, or they need to add on tickets for a game, I would be that go-to person for them there. So that's kind of my office duties. Now we do send them gifts here and there. Like this year, we sent all of our season ticket members masks. So we had to mail those and get those right. We do a birthday program where we send out birthday certificates and a little birthday button to our season ticket members. So you do a little bit of everything, and just to kind of stay connected with them, so you're not just contacting them once a year to ask them for a credit card. And then game day duties, we have a few different things. I was a supervisor in our West Club of the stadium. Pretty much our guest services staff would handle any issues that would arose, and then if there were any ticketing issues, whether the barcode not scanning, someone's seat was broken, things like that, I would get with our ticket office staff and either get them a new seat, see what's going on with the barcode, talk to our concession stand if their all-inclusive ticket wasn't working. So a little bit of everything there. So definitely more of a service role, but we are allowed to sell tickets. So the Jaguars are very unique, and they own the All Elite Wrestling, which is kind of a competitor to WWE. So usually they're on the road traveling, but we've been hosting those shows here in Jacksonville during COVID. So got to sell tickets for that. The Gator Bowl, Taxslayer Gator Bowl, got to sell tickets for that. We got Monster Jam coming up here. We got to sell tickets for that. And then the Florida, Georgia also for football has been a big event here. And it's usually a big tailgate party. With COVID, they didn't allow it this year, but definitely looking forward to that once everything can hopefully get back to normal.
That's some great stuff there, Drew. And sounds like there's some good perks to being a Jacksonville Jaguars season ticket holder. So if anybody needs season tickets in Jacksonville, get a hold of Drew. It's going to be a hot ticket next year with the coaching changes and a top draft pick. So
yeah, absolutely. And most free agency cap space too. So it's going to be a fun off season.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So you've been with multiple organizations in your sports career that began at CMU and now has you with the Jacksonville Jaguars. You've had stops with the Nashville Predators, as you mentioned. You've also been with the Ripken Experience, the University of South Florida, and the University of Kentucky. You've had many different bosses over your working career, each of which has probably had different leadership styles. What would you say stands out the most about some of the best leaders that you've had?
Yeah, I had a few different ones for this one. My biggest one is probably accountability. One, holding us, their staff accountable, but also taking priority on what they're doing as well. That's a big one for me, and all of my managers have exhibited that in different places I've been. Another one is just a team-oriented mindset, trusting us to get our work done instead of more being like a micromanager. I've been told Jaguars and then my previous job at Kentucky, I want you to run your job as your own business. So think of yourself as a small business owner, and your desk and your calls, your emails you're doing are your own business. So definitely taking that mindset, and really appreciated that, I guess, word of advice from my previous managers there. The next one would be confidence. Just obviously, if you're going to be leading, you have to be confident in your decisions and what you're telling your staff, which then leads me to just being a great communicator. So everyone's on the same page with everything. If you're not on the same page, ties back to the team orientation where the team's not going to work. So Super Bowl Sunday today, if coaches aren't communicating or teammates aren't communicating, it's probably going to lead to an L on the field there. And then just learning. Obviously, we all want to grow our careers to be something great and get as high as we can, but you also want your manager to still be able to learn and then be able to pass what they're learning down to you so they can become better in their role, and then which would allow you to become better in your role to advance your career.
That's awesome, Drew. That was so many good points you put in there. I love that you mentioned not only do you want a good leader, a boss to hold you accountable and the staff accountable, but you also want them to be accountable for their actions too. So I think that speaks volumes. You need a boss that's a confident person, as you mentioned too, and the communication aspect. So many companies, organizations struggle with communication, and I think you nailed it right there. The more effectively you communicate, the more likely you are to be successful. Jumping into our last question, Drew, that we have for you today. We mentioned earlier, I did on the introduction, that you're a fellow Chippewa. So I know you're a proud Chippewa because all Chippewas are very proud alums. But what would you say that CMU provided you with that's helped you ultimately have success in the sports industry?
Absolutely. I nailed this as soon as you sent me the question. It's opportunity. Just to expand on that, before I was even at CMU, I knew I wanted to get into sports, but I didn't know what. So I'm from the Toledo area originally, and went to a Toledo Walleye game, who are owned by the Toledo Mud Hens. It's the minor league hockey team down there. And my best friend, he had a suite with his family for the night, so we went, got a tour of the arena, and the sales rep who was giving us a tour, his name was Rob Rice. He's a CMU alum, and just talking with him, found out he was a CMU alum, which the next summer he helped get me set up with the internship with Mud Hens. So that's kind of when the CMU opportunity started. Even just to expand on that, networking. I know I met you, Al, at the Sport Management Career Fair my freshman year, and was able to build a good relationship, stay in touch with you. showed me around Pirate City when you were down in Bradenton. So that was definitely an awesome experience to be a part of. Being a part of the Sport Management Association up there, just being able to, again, network with my classmates. We went to Nashville to work the women's Final Four, went to Indianapolis to work the men's Final Four one of my years. So those were great trips. Memories were made on those. Also went to Nashville for a sport management career fair as well. And then just from even being able to experience working in the athletic department, my freshman year, I started off as a men's basketball manager back when Coach Ziegler was head coach, Trey Ziegler on the team. Definitely a cool experience. Made me learn that although it was cool, that maybe coaching wasn't the route I wanted to go. So I actually ended up working for the women's soccer team as well, mainly doing recruiting paperwork and database for them. However, once Coach Keno Davis came in to be the men's basketball man or the head coach, he wanted to break the managers into different teams, and one was ticket sales. And having that Toledo Mud Hens experience, I wanted to give it a go at the ticket sales. So worked with Mike Dabbs and Pete Manas in the athletic department there and doing ticket sales for men's basketball, which definitely kind of helped me find my niche of what I wanted to do in the industry. And then it kind of just put me out of my comfort zone as well. I, again, from Toledo, so I was the only kid from my high school that went to CMU. So it had pushed me out of my shell to get involved and meet people. And then just being involved in sport management, I never once in a million years thought that I would volunteer for Special Olympics. However, through Sport Management Association, found that to be probably the most valuable experience I got from CMU, was being able to participate with Special Olympics and being a volunteer with them, from winter games to unified sports to helping out in their offices on campus there. So definitely very, very thankful for my time at CMU, all the people I met, and would do anything for the sport management program up there.
That's awesome, Drew. That's all great information. You nailed it. There's so many opportunities that CMU provides for us. And that's fantastic. I'm going to put you on the spot for one final question. It is Super Bowl Sunday. So who do you got?
Bucks. Got them by, let's go with a field goal.
Okay, I like it. I'm going to say go Bucks too. I'm ready for it.
Let's
Tampa.
go.
Yep.
Tampa Bay.
There it is. Let's bring him a 7th title. All right, that's awesome. Zach, you got your prediction real quick?
I'm going to go against you guys. I'm going Chiefs.
Okay, 2-1. So let's go Tampa. All right, fantastic stuff. Drew, thanks again so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, and thanks for sharing all this valuable information. We appreciate you coming on with us today and chatting with us a little bit.
Thanks for having me, guys. Go Bucks and fire up.
Awesome.